All right, Schlockmeisters fans, we're going to finish off this Terry Bork double feature with Night of Fear, Ozploitation. Let's check it out. Our movie starts with a lovely young lady on a horse. So every good movie should start. And while she stops in the woods, a stranger approaches. So the poor woman has to chase after her horse. She ends up wandering into some old shack somewhere, which clearly belongs to our stranger. And then the guy kills the horse. Fast forward to somewhere else in Australia, and we see a different woman getting ready for a little match of tennis. So she plays her tennis match, and then she decides to roll around in the hay with the dude she was playing with. In this case, the hay is the nearby woods. After she's done humping the guy, she gets back in her car and drives off. She ends up running off the road. So her car is stuck in a little ditch kind of in the middle of the road. And our weird crazy guy wanders by. This is his territory. The man is fond of rats too. He keeps a whole bunch of them on his property. And one on his shoulder. She manages to escape the car, and then the chase is on. This is his territory. And like any good crazy guy, he chases his victims with a shovel. She somehow manages to elude him for the rest of the day. As night falls, she ends up finding his shack. And of course, she wanders in. Not only does he keep live rats, but he keeps them stuffed as well. Now the next scene is kind of weird. The woman kind of passes out, and then there's I don't know if it's a dream sequence or what, or if it's a flashback to the previous victim, but there's some weirdness going on here. Was that just a dream? I'm not sure, because she's still in his shack, and she's okay for the moment. So he's outside, she's inside, and he's gonna pull on this thing. He's got a plan. What that pulley system is doing is lifting up this barricade there, sending the rats inside to be with her, for which she promptly passes out, which causes the rats to promptly feed on her. Here we see that skull that we saw in that weird dream sequence or whatever. Is this the skull from that previous woman? I'm not sure. I don't know what exactly he's doing with it either. Meanwhile, a search party apparently has been formed to find the woman. And apparently the search party has to stay as close to each other as possible when searching for the missing woman. And with a final couple of shots of the various animals he has, our film ends. All right, let's talk about Night of Fear. This was also directed by Terry Bork, an Australian director who did Inn of the Damned, which I reviewed last week. That movie still makes me mad. But anyway, Night of Fear, actually the on-screen title says Fright, Night of Fear. I think it's like Fright, Night of Fear, which is an alternate title, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, this appears to be was supposed to be made for television, I believe, Australian television. I think it actually was shown there. I'm not sure. Maybe this got a theatrical release. I don't know. But it's an interesting story because there's no dialogue in this movie. There's literally no dialogue. There's a woman in the beginning of the movie who's riding a horse. The horse gets spooked, actually gets scared away by a stranger, this weird guy. And then the stranger stalks her, and we don't exactly find out what happened to her. I guess we presume that she died in some way, shape, or form. And then next thing you know, we cut away to this other woman, this pretty girl who's playing tennis with somebody. And next thing you know, she's making love to this guy in the bushes. She gets in her car and drives away, and eventually she gets run off the road accidentally, gets stuck somewhere in the woods where this crazy guy happens to be living, and she gets stalked by the guy. And the rest of the movie is basically him stalking her. She ends up in his place at one point. She gets captured at one point. Now this guy, again, he doesn't talk either. He's just kind of drools and grunts and sort of things. He keeps a bunch of rats that he feeds there. And he might be feeding these rats the human remains of the previous victim. I'm not sure. Eventually, he gets this woman locked in a room in his cabin, dwelling of some sort there. And he pulls this string, and then a bunch of rats come out because the little gate opens up and a bunch of rats come in. And then she screams, passes out, and the last scene is basically the rats eating her, devouring her. And that's basically how our movie ends. So there's no resolution here. Our killer is still out there doing his thing, feeding his rats, and that's the movie. But anyway, that is Night of Fear. Again, a very, very short film. It's only 53 minutes long, so I got through it pretty quickly, and I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it also is very fast. There's not much to say. However, I will say it was pretty cool. I liked it. Didn't need dialogue, really. It reminded me a little bit of that one Twilight Zone episode where the old woman was battling the space men. Turns out these were actually Americans who had somehow landed on a planet full of large people, I guess. Is that what it was? Or did they come back to America and they were shrunk? I don't know. I think it was they actually landed on a planet of large people and the woman was chasing with the broom and stuff. There was no dialogue in that episode either. And that kind of mood reminded me of this story quite a bit, actually. So, but anyway, yeah, Night of Fear. Now, it's available on this double feature with Inn of the Damned. Again, the same director did both of these. Terry Bork was his name. There's a PAL DVD with both of these together, and, of course, the American DVD put out by Code Red, both of them together. You can usually get this for about $25 or so. Like most Code Red titles, they'll probably go out of print. I think it is probably out of print already, so I'm surprised this one hasn't gone up in price already, but as they get scarcer and scarcer, you're probably going to pay more and more for it if you want it. So, but there you go. Night of Fear, I like it. It's better than Inn of the Damned, and it's half the running time. So check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Leave some comments. It's Night of Fear. Watch it. Bye.